is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, November 25th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Brandon and Stephanie.
Hello.
How you guys feeling? Day before Thanksgiving.
I know.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited?
Well, I've already put on that quarantine 15, so it's like, keep eating. Why? Why
Right.
worry
You
about
don't
it?
look like you put on 1 ounce of weight.
Really?
No.
Well, thank you.
You know what it is for me? Like, people are like, you didn't gain that much weight, but I don't really work out as much, so you drop that muscle mass.
Yeah.
And I put on some fat, so you don't want to know what's under this. This button is hurting right now. We're just going to get right to it. Meghan Markle has just opened up about a miscarriage she suffered back in July. The Duchess wrote about the loss in an essay in the New York Times. She said she felt a sharp cramp after changing her son Archie's diapers and fell to the floor. She wrote that she was clutching her firstborn child. She knew that she was losing her second. Meghan says she and Harry decided to share their heartbreak as a way to encourage others to check in with their loved ones, especially around Thanksgiving, to make sure that they were okay. You know, I give her credit for coming out with this, right? Because it's so common. So many of my friends have went through this. Fortunately, we haven't. But it's so common that when it happens to someone close to you, you're not sure how to feel, right?
Yeah.
But now with more and more people coming out, and the older I get, the more common it becomes to me too in my inner circles. I'm glad she's speaking out, especially for younger people.
Yeah, well, they say it's really, really sad, but 10% of all pregnancies do end in miscarriage, and that's actually quite a high number.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it often, 80% of those times, it's in the first trimester of a woman being pregnant. So that's why they say you shouldn't really tell anyone until you're 12 weeks when you're over that certain hurdle. And my best friend suffered a miscarriage exactly this time last year, and she's just now given birth to a beautiful baby boy called Otis. So I'm so pleased for her. But I've seen it with my friends, and a lot of time people don't open up out of like shame. I don't know, out of shame or fear, and they feel like they can't tell people, like as if the woman has done something wrong. But they have. It's so sad, and I'm really grateful that her and like people like Chrissy Teigen as well. We saw her being so open about what happened in their experiences, and we need more people to do that.
Yeah. I'm glad she did. So best of luck to them, and there's always something to be thankful for around the holidays, even though this was a sad one. Switching gears, The Weekend is crying foul after being snubbed by the Grammys. The singer has been collecting awards at the VMAs and AMAs with his signature bloodied and bandaged face. We all remember that. Stephanie loves it.
Oh, yeah.
But when the Grammy nominations were announced yesterday, the singer was completely shut out. Well, he took his frustrations out on social media, writing, quote, "The Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency." So, according to TMZ, things with the Grammys and The Weeknd got heated after he was told he couldn't perform at both the award shows, both the AMAs and the VMAs, and the Super Bowl. But the Recording Academy says that it's not true, and says voting in all categories was done well before The Weeknd was announced at the Super Bowl headliner. So two different stories coming out here, Belun.
Stop the steal. I want a recount.
There you go. That's what The Weeknd wants.
Not to bring politics in it, but we do want that transparency, and I want the transparency overall, not just trying to say, oh, there's racism involved, because we know the Grammys has a history. But Megan Thee Stallion was nominated a lot. I believe Beyonce was nominated 9 times for in different categories and all.
Yeah.
But we do want that transparency because he did have a hit. His hit, Blinding Lights, was on the Billboard's Top 100 for 40 weeks. That's a lot of success. We've had things in the past with the Grammys, so we do want this transparency when it comes to these award shows, because there's so many different artists out there, so many different genres. If someone who we know has the accolades and has the proven streams and the revenue that's coming in because of the music they're making, we want to know why this person was snubbed. And I just wanted to get to a level where it's not just like a racism thing. It's just an open transparency. Hey, you're Stephanie Grande. Your music didn't get a nomination.
Who are you alluding to?
Stephanie Grande, your music didn't get nominations. I don't want you to be like, oh, it's because I'm a Brit. You know, I want to get to British. I don't know if that's a bad word or whatever, but
it's fine.
This is what we are these days.
I know. Listen,
Jeff. I don't.
This is. Let me take it to a different place.
Okay.
We're always thankful. We're always complaining about things we don't have instead of being thankful for things that we do have.
Yeah.
And it's a good lesson people should think, especially around the holidays. He's performing at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's going to make some more music. That song that you were talking about, 40 Weeks, that's a long time ago. You know what I mean? Putting all on the top charts.
He's made a lot of
It's an
money.
old song. So, listen, there's two sides to this story. What do you think, Steph?
Okay, well, he was confirmed to perform at the Grammys and the Super Bowl, so he had those confirmed. They were both going to be on CBS, and I think, you know, he was very lucky to get 2 major spots like that, because I sort of think the Grammys was on January the 31st, the Super Bowl halftime show is on the 7th of February. That's 2 massive arenas he's filling, you know, and audiences that he's performing to, and I think at the end of the day, you know, we've seen from artists like Nicki Minaj in the past where she was incredibly upset with the the Grammys. I don't know if we have the tweet still or not. Here we go. So it says, never forget the Grammys didn't give me my Best New Artist award when I had 7 songs simultaneously charting on the Billboard and bigger first week than any other female rapper in the last decade. Went on to, sorry, I can't see all the script very well.
To inspire a
generation, but they gave it to a white man, Von Iver. So, I mean, there are other artists that have come forward. I can't see that far away.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm sorry, Stephanie was at the optometrist. Like, read the bottom line.
I'm sorry, everyone. I was trying to read it. It was so teeny for us. But there are lots of artists that have come forward saying they've been unhappy with this. But I also do agree with you guys in the fact that he's had a 40-week run, massive. He's performing at 2 of the biggest events of the year next year, at the start of the year, very incredibly lucky. And also, maybe people are just sick of seeing the same costume and hearing the same song. I said this the other day. I'm over Blinding Lights song. I'm over seeing him in the same costume.
But that's just
Give
because
us something new.
But now you're taking away. Now you're taking away from his artistry, because he went into that booth with a group of people and he put his artistry on the line. He can't help that it's a hit. He can't help that you're tired of the song, but he wants to get recognized for it, and I think he should.
Listen, like I said, 2 sides of the story. But if you're going to make way for Megan Thee Stallion,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Someone's got to fall out. Someone's always going to feel like they're getting snubbed.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on here. Netflix has removed Dave Chappelle's old sketch comedy show from its platform. The comedian said when he sold Chappelle's show to Comedy Central years ago, he signed a contract that basically meant he didn't own the rights to the show anymore. This is very common. He said at the time it wasn't good money, but he was desperate. Well, earlier this month, Netflix began streaming the show, but Dave says he was completely left out of the deal. He asked Netflix to take it down because it made him feel bad, quite honestly, and they did. By the way, this is also on HBO, too. So they just grabbed all the ownership, and this happens a lot in the industry. If you don't have ownership of what you created, speaking of creating, they're going to sell that for a lot more money than they bought it for. That's business, though. That's business.
And you know what this reminds me of? Last year when I felt the wrath of Erica Cobb and the Taylor Swifties out there. You know, because I jumped in and it was like, yo, Scooter Braun. That was brilliant what he did to purchase her catalog. But what Erica was so elegantly
skate wisely on this thin ice.
She was like, I hope you never get into a contractual situation like that, to where now you've signed away your artistry. Oh, there's that word again. You signed away your work to a Viacom or to a big Scooter Braun, and now years later you can't reap the benefit from it. So it has to be a Taylor Swift or a Dave Chappelle to challenge the status quo. They have the talent to where they're not going anywhere. But if it was someone that was like, oh, they took my music, they took my money, and that wasn't that big of a deal, then it's like, okay, that person is going to wash out.
Right,
but it has to be
when you're
Dave
coming
Chappelle.
up, you're not Dave Chappelle, you're not Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You're signing that contract, right?
Yeah, he was an expecting father. He was broke. He sold it. It was a very minimal amount of money. And sadly, he wasn't in a position financially where he could afford to fight it. And he said he didn't know if he didn't agree to the terms, he wouldn't have got the money, and he was that desperate he needed it. So kudos to Netflix for doing the right thing, and hopefully they give him some sort of buyout fee or something if they do go ahead and choose to stream it in the future.
Well, I think Netflix is fine. I think Chappelle is fine.
Yeah.
We should teach this in school now. Contracts.
Well, I heard an interesting quote that I think I shared when we were talking about that Scooter Braun thing. It was some rock star. I wish I remembered his name, but he said he'd rather sell 20,000 albums and own 100% of that than sell 20 million and only own 20% of it, right? So if you do the math there, that didn't make sense to anybody.
I'm going to do the math in a little bit. Let me get my calculator on my
DBL. Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold take us behind the scenes of this Sunday's Soul Train Music Awards. I was snubbed out of that one, by the way, Brandon. And has Full House actress Lori Loughlin made a friend or two in prison? Stephanie tells us what up. And who knew Captain America could play the piano? Check out Chris Evans as we go to break, this little cutie.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for What Up Wednesday, where I deliver the week's hottest celebrity gossip, and now, thanks to moi, you'll have something to talk about with your cool young nieces and nephews over Thanksgiving dinner. You're welcome. So, let's get started. Our first stop on the What Up World map is Beverly Hills, where we find actress Hilary Duff. Well, this is what dreams are not made of. The pregnant mum-to-be is quarantining in a basement after an exposure to COVID-19. The star says she's losing it already while her husband takes on full-time daddy duties. Here's what's up. Hilary is being extra careful because of her unborn child, and it looks like her family is in full support. Matthew and the two kids are leaving sweet treats outside her door, and while I'm sure a hug is what she really wants, I must say that apple pie looks pretty tasty. And our next stop is Dublin, California, where one Full House star is serving time in the big house for her role in the college admissions scandal. And of course, I'm talking about Lori Loughlin. She's 1 month into her 2-month prison sentence. So how is Aunt Becky settling in halfway through? Well, here's what's up. A rumour has it that Lori has made a bunch of mates, and when she's not hanging out with her friends, she keeps mostly to herself. Our last stop is back to Beverly Hills, this time paying a visit to Nicki Minaj. The rapper is getting her own documentary series set to air on HBO, and here's what's up. There aren't many details known right now, like a title or when the series will be dropping, but we do know this. Nicki is the executive producer and is collaborating with Michael John Warren, who was also behind the 2004 Jay-Z film Fade to Black. Now that is quite the Christmas present for Nicki fans. That's it for this week's What Up Wednesday. Daily Blast Live will be back right after this, and we are gonna miss you.
Welcome back to DBL. Two sitcom queens from the 90s classic Martin are returning to host the 2020 Soul Train Awards. Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold. And Erica caught up with them in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Tisha and Tashina, welcome back to DBL. Now first, I just have to say, I'm going to say that this might be a Thanksgiving Eve miracle that I get to sit down with you two queens. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I am sitting in gratitude, okay? So thank you so much.
Yes, just accept it. Just receive it, girl. Just receive it. Thanksgiving is full of blessings.
Yes, yes. So let's get started because you two are hosting the Soul Train Music Awards for the third time in a row. I mean, you both are triple threats. You are actors, singers, dancers. I know that this year things are gonna look a lot different because of the pandemic, but even without the live audience and that energy, can we expect another iconic opening act from the two of you, Tashina?
Yes, you can. Due to Tisha and I producing Soul Train when we do it as well, we always get together and just decide what will be the narrative of the show this year and the tone. And this year we're celebrating Black women because, of course, we showed up and showed out this year. We just wanted to make sure that it didn't feel virtual, that it didn't feel like you were not a part of it. So we are still performing on stage. We are still performing with dancers, but of course, everything is COVID regulated. So everybody was tested. Instead of having 20,000 people in the audience, we're gonna have 20 people in the audience.
They still get that feeling of a live audience since we have audience members there.
Yeah, I'm really not worried about the two of you making it larger than life, whether you were performing in a box with no one there, or if you had an entire stadium, okay? Now, Tisha, I have to tell you, I have a little surprise for you. Our senior executive producer, Bert Dubrow, spotted your talent very early on, and he selected a clip from back in the day. Yeah. Do you remember this?
Yes, of course I do. I remember that I was playing hide and go seek right before I filmed that, and I messed my hair up, and they had to keep my hair all messed up because it was continuity, and I was mad.
Wow, T, that's crazy.
I know, he produced the Me Nobody Knows.
Wow.
Yes, it was the television Broadway special, Me Nobody Knows, and we have to give a special thanks to Gary William Friedman for allowing us to use that clip.
That's dope, I love that.
It's chaos out there. People are getting beat up, cars are getting overturned and set on fire. I've never seen anything like it.
Tashina, so season 3 of your sitcom with Cedric the Entertainer featured the Black Lives Matter movement. What does that say about the dynamics of the neighborhood this season?
It says a lot. It says that change is happening. It says that, you know, the corporate America is finally recognizing that the voices that have been screaming so loud for so long. And I'm very appreciative to CBS and, of course, to Jim Reynolds and Cedric the Entertainer and all of the wonderful producers on our show that made that happen. And Tiffany and Noah Smith as well, because it takes people, all of us sitting down, talking about it and really making it happen. It needed to happen. It's time. Here we are. It's time. We always talk about change, but we want to see change. And hopefully we will see other networks do it.
Thank you, DBL Nation. Be sure to check out the Soul Train Music Awards this Sunday night on BET. Thank you, ladies.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
DBL, it is time for some sweet, sweet deals, because earlier I showed Tori some amazing products at some incredible prices. Here is today's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSafe.com, and I need to catch my breath. Whew.
All right, Steph, what do you have for us today?
Tori, it's the Chrono Watch Square multifunction smartwatch. So this watch will notify you of calls, texts, Facebook, and so much more. And it monitors your heart rate, blood pressure, and calories. Wow. Now, it comes in these amazing colors here, and normally this watch is $200, but we've got it for $39, saving 81%. Next up, I've got this, the iHome Color LED swivel lamp. You can put your any charging devices on here, like your phone, and it just charges without any wires. It's that easy, and it offers a full range of cool to warm light and can be dimmed to your likeness. So normally this is $90.
Okay.
We've got it for $35. Yeah. Saving 61%. Okay, now Tori, no one likes being in pain, no. Whether it's from sore muscles or an injury, and that is where the 7-piece Somacare reusable heat pack combo comes in handy. Now, it comes in 4 different sizes that are easily portable, and the best bit is that they are reusable.
Love that.
So normally it's $165. We've got it for $24.
Heat me up some savings.
85%.
Yes.
And then last but not least, it's the 2-pack Almost Famous Clean Freak 2-in-1 exfoliator brushes.
Ooh.
So this brush will lightly cleanse your skin with 550,000 soft microfiber bristles, and normally it's $36, but we've got 2 for $15.
Whoa!
Saving 58%.
Head on over, guys, to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Steph.
Ooh, sweet deal.
What have you got your eye on? What do you like?
The hot pack. I'm 36 now, and like my mom says, once a car reaches 2,000 miles, it doesn't run the same anymore. So I need that hot pack for a couple ailments.
I'm with you, buddy. I hate to admit it, but I'm with you. Listen, everybody, you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Everyone out there, have a great Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. Don't listen to me. I'm going to be eating. We'll see you guys tomorrow.